So last we had left off, the group of you had got back to Rackmere, commissioned a bunch of work for armor supplies, refittings, repairs. You had also went to, well, one of you had went to file his reports, file his information at the Brass Shields Patrol House, or investigator of tier, Hendrik. And hearing about and thinking about our esteemed cleric of Kinos, wanted to go find out more information about a masterwork level item commissioned by him by the gnomes you rescued previously a couple of days earlier. And after a long discussion the previous night, or the night of where we ended the game, you guys decided that it probably would be worth going back to recover the item in a peaceful means, if possible. Sneaky means would be even better, to not upset the young blue drake that has seemingly is either owned or is taking control of the kobold tribe, which he left in control of the first level of the Sunless Citadel. There's a lot of back and forth, a lot of swapping of ideas and ideology. And now you guys retired, you're in your rooms, Bed of Roses Tap House, and as a calendar update, it is the third day of the second week of the first month, Wawel. As you guys wake up this morning, very familiar to when we started on the first time you guys were introduced to this world, it is the heavy pitter patter of strong rainfall on the roofs. The storm shutters are closed. There is a grey, highly overcast, a gentle breeze pushing the beads of water against the windows down in the first foyer room of the Bed of Roses Tap House. Um, you haven't fully shaken off the grip of rain, things like that. Summer has not truly arrived yet. We're still in the hot and cold, or hot and wet period of spring. The city is very much alive. It's a working week, so as you guys all rise to it, I guess we'll probably start off with probably Thoric and Lyranok. Do the two of you want to head to the Metal Critic to get your armor supplies?
Yes,
Yes, please.
please.
Okay, very well. Is anyone else joining them?
I'll probably
Okay.
use this time to look at the book then, actually, and I'll think
Okay.
IRL about
Cool. So Orly stays behind to research the book in the foyer. Pio has carefully set out some nice, freshly peppered slices of mushroom and fried pieces of gristle of meat for you, Orly, as he leaves you to study in the kind of back booth of the foyer room at the Better Roses place. So,
I'm going to vicariously live through my character and
uh-huh.
sleep in.
Okay. So you're gonna like vicariously live with your character and sleep in, but there is a certain religious thing that you must attend or you should attend today as well, so don't leave it too long.
Oh fuck! What am I? Okay, I already got the damn metal polished. What else am I forgetting?
Well,
Or
that's
was that?
today. That's
That's the
today.
day.
That's today. It was I told you
Oh,
about
that's
it
right.
last session, but it didn't
Yeah.
happen in the end. But as it's a pretty big place, it's a pretty big town. There is a series of sermons throughout the day, so you can go later on. So don't worry about it.
shit. There's a parade as well today, isn't there?
Well,
For
it's
for the for the brass shields.
Yeah, it's their religious day, their religious holiday, I
Is a
believe.
religious day. Is the promise of judgment, which Orly you'd be very familiar with as well. You're
Yeah,
pretty
I
tuned
was.
to that.
Yes, who was it? I can't remember who it was. It pretty much slapped it at me, slapped it on my face yesterday.
Yeah, I think a priest or something asked about you or
I'll
something.
take a break and I'll have a look at it. It's been a while since I've
It's
kind
the
of like.
information about it is in the tier Legend Keeper page, so you can read up about it there. It's all there. So Lyranok and Thoric, as you guys leave your companions, Hendrik's still asleep. Torkel is probably going to say joining you guys as well, because he doesn't want to miss a chance to see any part of the city which is aligned with the Ministry of Masterworks. Um, this you get the sense of how you head down to this district as part of Rackmere, uh, supplies coming in, orders being tended to, all this. The owner who's you met, the bronze dragonborn, what was his name again? It was Neas Cantero. Neas Cantero is not on hand. He is not there when you arrive. However, there is a clerk who takes both of you into two separate armoring chambers, and I'll describe what Leronok sees first, and then we'll go to Thorek. So, for you, Leronok, it's a simple process. You already paid your gold. You're taken into armoring chamber, a fitting chamber, and you see the plate mail before you. Its garb and decals of Silver Templar allegiances has been not removed, but kind of refilled over. It's amazing what these metalsmiths are able to do now with not just actual hands at work, but also divine magic into crafting and moving metal. So all the kind of filigree, the incantations of religious iconography put in the armor of the Silver Templars is removed. It is a basic fitting pair of plate mail, greaves, gauntlet, shoulder, breastplate, all these things well. However, it has taken on a burnished, polished appearance. It is this perfect, almost pearlescent, deep blue sheen to the plate itself. Now, yourself, you are a very experienced man in armor. You've had plate mail before, probably the ones that you had before you left your time in the Silver Templars. It's very, very different. This very much more grandiose. So, what's kind of Leonok's reaction to a blank slate of armor, if you will?
So the blank slate arm is actually exactly what he wanted. It is perfect for him because it's what he wanted. To remove the iconography of the Templars, of the life he left behind almost. So
Mm-hmm.
to him, this is like, it's plain, it's ordinary, it's how he sees himself almost at this point, where he's like, he doesn't want to stand out as the holy warrior, the divine might. This is just, it's just something that an ordinary person, anybody could have,
Yeah,
and that's exactly what he wants. So yeah, that's perfect for him.
good, good. And we cut across to Thorik, who's probably in the room next to it. And Thorik, your armor is very much the same, polished to a sheen. Yours kind of has a slightly more grayish material it's made out of because of the metal that was mined where that was found. Your helmet has been immaculately repaired, and when you try it on, it fits even better than it previously did before. Because last time when you got this armor 3 or 4 years ago, you've grown a little bit since then. It seems these new measurements have been filled in well. The face visor's been repaired brilliantly. You can still see some signs of it, of the scars, because a good smith works with what he has. He doesn't need to replace it. He doesn't have to. So it's been repaired very well. Um, so just for a rule clarification, both of you for the next 24 hours have advanced on charisma-based skill checks when interacting with humanoids, as determined by me with this very well polished, maintained, and kind of as best as it's ever going to look, probably out of the shop, armor for the pair of yous. And I guess for Thoric, your armor has been like a staple of you. You've had it gifted to you before when you got sent off to train to be a paladin, and it served you in exchange from that not being your life path, and now is a bulwark for the clergyman of Bahamut. What's kind of Thoric's reaction to seeing this armor now?
Like in a candy store being shown a big chocolate cake. It's like, oh, hells yeah. And he's like looking all over, he's picking it up, he's looking at it closely. Like, yes, there might be still some scars to it, but that's just character. It's not damage. And he's like eyes wide.
Yeah, so you guys both, you armor up. Attending does come in and help you armor, because trying to put plate mail on by yourself is pretty difficult. So upon your leaving and you guys have your plate mail on, both of you are handed a certificate of authenticity of servicing by the metal critic that you can keep with you, to show that this armor was serviced here. It is a date. There's a date stamped physically of when the day it was serviced and what under Smith done the work to it. As well as kind of like a report card of like any other things that might need to be improved, but both of your armors don't have any other things that need to be improved. So yeah, the two of you get this. And the two of you both look brilliant. Like you can almost see like your reflection in some parts of the breastplate of the 8 foot tall dragonborn, and you can definitely see the reflection in the gleaming shoulder, like huge exaggerated shoulder pauldrons of Lyranok's plate for you, Thoric.
Uh-huh. The truly looks excellent. Please, I'm very grateful for the work you have done,
The
or the
smith,
work that was done, rather.
yeah, the smith, the attending. Thank you very much, sir. We again appreciate your payment, and remember to keep these warranty cards with you. If you have any defects that happen because of the smithing, bring these back, and we'll see what we can do.
I have no doubt that it is as excellent as it looks, but we will do so. Thank you very much.
And you guys are free to leave. So add a suit of plate mail into your armor, please, Toxie.
Yes, I have done. I now have my AC has been set.
Is your AC 19 or 20?
It's now 21.
Wow. Wow, he is a hard to hit motherfucker. So yeah. So while the two of you, is there anything else the two of you want to do before we cut to Hendrik and see what that looks like for him?
No, I think you probably just spend some time looking at, like, I think from everybody, he's got like a display case almost of some of his other works. I think you probably just
Yeah.
spend some time just looking through it, just because he's got now something. Probably it's probably not of equivalent level because this is done by an underling, but still like, okay,
Yeah.
he wants to see. But it is just like he'll just want to have a brief look, but nothing major really.
You're doing the classic thing of like when you get like a trader in an RPG and you look at stuff you can nowhere near afford just yet, but it's like higher level rated gear than you.
Oh yeah.
Oh wow.
Oh
Yeah,
I'll be coming back to that in about 8 levels.
pretty much.
Do they sell like armor care kits or something, like a bottle of oils and polish and a scrubber and cloth and that
Yeah,
kind of stuff?
strap repairs, listening tools and all these things. They definitely sell a kit, like an on the road repair kit kind of thing, or care kit for plate mail, for leathers, for weapons, sharpening stones, whetstones you
How
can carry
much
in
would
in the
that
traveling case.
cost?
I'm gonna say from here probably like 25 gold pieces.
I'll take it.
All right, okay. So 25 gold pieces for this, and I'll basically tell you now. You have 4 uses of this cleaning kit, and doing this cleaning kit, it will take an hour. And when you do that, it will give you the burnished ability. So you get advantage on charisma checks for a day, or until a fight is over. So, so yeah.
Bonus
So
to
you can note that
charisma. Is that
down.
advantage or that a plus something?
It's advantage. It's advantage. I can post the exact. It's in the.
Yeah.
It is in the PDF somewhere in there.
Yeah.
Keep forgetting
But
how.
burnished. Just one of the upgrades. I can send it if you.
Yeah, it's like 10 GP. So yeah, it's like a traveling kit thing. But it would take you like an hour to do it each day you wanted to try and do it, and stuff. So you get that, and is that 2 of you finished there? The Metal Critic.
Yeah, I'm happy.
Okay. So Hendrik, 10 a.m. rolls around, the drizzly sounds of rain and pitter patter, and you find yourself naturally rousing yourself awake. What do you do?
Probably sleeps until 9, wakes up, realizes it's raining, and then just does that thing where you sit or lay in bed for like an hour, hoping that it gets better.
Yeah.
At about
It
10,
does
where it
not
doesn't get
It
better,
stays
through
exactly the same for the
through
next hour.
Herculean effort and a dedication to the cause of justice, yeah, Hendrik's gonna finally get up and get out of bed. Yeah, shit. Yeah, he actually has to. If it was up to him, just stay in, get up at 12, eat some oatmeal, go back to bed. But he has a duty he has to uphold. He has to follow fucking bureaucracy.
Yeah, you don't want to lose your piety now, do you?
No.
Okay. Very well. So
You
put
earn
on.
something to spend it, right?
Yeah. So you put on your leather garb.
Yeah.
You put on your
Yeah.
leather garb and you head to the patrol hut for the Brass Shields, which is fairly busy on today, as you can imagine. It's like there definitely is like a cyclical order of Brass Shields or Believers of Tyr. It's not just like literal Brass Shields going in alone. There are commoners and people of everyday walks of life going in for these multiple services. And you find you're waiting in kind of a group of around 40 people for once you arrive there for about 15 minutes before one of the kind of adjacent rooms to the Brass Shields patrol house in the interior opens up. These two heavy studded wooden doors opens up and a crowd exits. And you see before you this spherical chamber into like a half like kind of nosed up egg shape of a circular room with glass pane windows around it, a central chandelier gleaming with candlelight, dozens and dozens, if not hundreds of candles, all in these rings around the chandelier, illuminating the windows. As is this room would be heavily illuminated by good natural sunlight in the summer, but not so much today with the overcast. The beads of rain dripping on the exterior windows from what you can see, kind of giving this dancing ray of lights inside. There is a central dais raised up in the middle of the room, and as you enter in with these 40 people, it's quite a small chamber. So these 40 or so people enter in, you get wide enough space to sit down, and you kind of align in a group, kneeling around the central dais. You see the priest before you. You see a man. He stands about 5'11". He has the grey dull robes of Tyr with a yellow kind of yellow highlight on the edges and cuffs of his vestments. But you can see under his vestments is the Brass Shield's armor of or like an armor of some kind. So he's put these vestments over on top of them to perform his religious duties. And as you come in, he has a bald head, a mirror ball like sheen off his head, and he has a muscular build and smooth golden skin. He is a human. And as you step in, he looks like kind of early 30s as well. And you step in, and everyone kind of takes their seating. You don't sit shoulder to shoulder, people. You get privacy and space. And two of the Brass Shields attendings, acolytes, on the other side, close the door behind it. And the man he greets the group of you. Welcome. I am Bishop Gabriel Fidalgo. I will be enacting the sermon today for all of you. And he turns towards the dais, and he has some scripture already prepared. Clears his throat. Let's begin. We all have places to be. Some slight murmurs and laugh and chuckles, and he cracks a half smile. There's kind of this demeanor change of kind of that joviality just disappears from him as he starts to read, focused, intently staring at the words before some dramatic pauses, and he starts to speak in Celestial, which all of you recognize. So this script is all in Celestial. These are the holy words from heaven he is speaking now, and you recognize it and are able to understand it, Hendrik. Gathered faithful of justice immortal, we stand here together to renew our bonds of law and swear an everlasting devotion to the Prime Mind, the Vigilant One who has seen all before and all of what is to come. His eyeless voids, he made the greatest sacrifice. Now, as he stands at the gates of Erebus's walls, awaiting for us to arrive so that he may judge our efforts in this mortal flesh of life. The vow we take now binds us to his knowing that all here gathered are baptized in the laws of creation, his laws. Do you all gathered before this vessel of his will swear with your eternal souls to act as the instruments of heaven's divine law? And there's a chant of We do. We do.
Yeah, Hendrik does the thing.
Uh-huh.
He's done this 3,000 times before.
Oh, totally. Yeah, you've been doing this at least 12 months a year for the past 300 years. Will you steadfast your love for our God? We will. We will. Your duty eternal as be it done now on this world, so shall it be needed in heaven. Swear to our God, who knows all of time and space, that you will stay loyal to the end of creation. And they repeat, our eternal service, as is now, will be in heaven. All 40 in the chamber say this. And he finalizes the prayer. Know now, brethren of all faithful, that our God's purifying ceremony here protects you. And you watch as all of the brass armor, the necklaces, the rings people wear to reflect their God's commitment, their physical embodiment of God's, the brass, all the oxidization disappears as it looks brand new, polished and clean. And your ceremony is over, Hendrik. And the doors open up again. The crowd is slowly ushered out. And it's upon your exit that an attending finds you and gestures like to basically hold your attention while the bishop here approaches. He stands away from his dais. It seems to be there's a pause in his duties where he comes to approach you, Hendrik, and he nods towards you um, and says, "Sorry about. I can't ignore a classic when it comes to the sermons. I am Bishop Gabriel, as I'm sure you heard at the start. Your investigator Hendrik. I have been told to meet with you to discuss some provisions of equipment for your leavings."
I didn't notice you'd be taking care of that. Yeah, I may be having a dangerous couple of weeks coming up, and I wanted to see if there's anything that can be released from the vault.
Gives a dry look. Overseer Menthea, she understood your request, but I think there are some items created by divine providence of the church that would be more befitting of a station such as yourself. You have a high esteemed record. I don't see any reason why you cannot have church artifacts in and of itself. You don't need to rely on hand-me-downs or something someone was cut with once before that does not belong to them. Come with me. I have something particular for yourself. And he leads off.
Hendrik keeps his composure, but he knows the vaults can keep some fun stuff. It's like, God damn it. Okay. Let's see where this goes.
Okay. So, away from this circular chamber, you head away to the maze-like structures or hallway. Sorry. So it's this kind of, you're not sure if you went up or down at one point or another. You're not sure if you're up a level, down a level. Did we go? It gets very confusing. But eventually you end up at the end of a long hallway where there are two brass shields guarding a simple wooden door. And as you enter or come close towards it, the bishop presents his holy symbol. The guard studies it for a good 10 or so seconds before allowing two of you to enter. He basically provides accountability for yourself, and you enter under his watchful eye.
Yeah.
They unlock the door. You enter in. It is a room which has immediate activity as you go in. You couldn't hear any noise from this side of the door, but once you go in, you can hear the sounds of chanting. You can smell incense being burned. It is a long hallway, about 80 feet in length and about 20 foot in width, right to the end, and you can see these garbed hanging curtains on fletchings in the ceiling, heavy set beams. This room is an old part of this structure. There are apostles and acolytes of the church, specifically of Tyr, nothing to do with the brass shields, tending to working. They are inscribing celestial text into books. They are polishing pieces of metal, and he steps forward. They don't acknowledge you much, but he steps forward, goes to about midway point of the room itself, walks to a table with no attendings on it, and there is an item underneath, a well-made piece of cloth which has the embroidery of the Church of Tyr on it, and he gestures towards it. I was informed by some records that I had that you are charged with divine providence from your bloodline. A unique gift. Most of us rely on prayer and remembering the holy incantations of our Lord to enact his will on the world, but it is in your blood. Quite an accomplishment for your family line. Now this, and he lifts up the cloth, and you see this well-made silver incense burner on a golden chain. And he gestures for you. This is a artifact, as far as I have been able to use it. In my personal days of traveling, when I was a speaker, a traveler of Tyr, it imbibed me with the power of our Lord when I needed it most, in times of dying desperation. It's something that has served many of the clergy and warriors of Tyr over a dozen generations. Will you accept it?
Yes, gladly.
He, with a gloved hand, he delicately reaches down and passes it to you. There are words of inscriptions on the side of it. In the script of heaven, you will find, when you're in needing most of power, of divine power, to cast the words of heaven and abilities, speak them, and you will find space in your soul to enact it. So Ryan, for yourself, this is an incense burner which you're able to use, but basically as a magical item, this is a pearl of power. While the pearl's on your person, you can use an action to speak a command word and regain one expended spell slot. It is, if the expended spell slot is 4th of higher level, the new slot is 3rd level. And once you have used the pearl, it cannot be used again until the next dawn.
Oh shit. Okay. Dope.
So yeah, so I'll send this to you. There we go. Does require attunement. You would know that. And he, as he passes it to you and you take a hold of it, he kind of closes your hand around it. It's about the size of an apple on this golden chain, and the incense on it. So he says to you, you'll never need to supply incense for it always produces the same. You just need to speak the words, the light will come, and under the ash and smoke it produces, you breathe it in and you will find the ability comes to you.
Okay. Thank you.
Is
It's
this
welcome,
better than
Eddie.
what you hoped?
I didn't have hopes. I didn't know what to expect.
What are your
This will be helpful.
expectations, Hendrik?
None. None. I didn't know what we had, and I didn't know what I'd be allowed to take.
He gives you a studied look. One like the look he gave that book of celestial importance. Do you feel it sometimes? The call of something greater? Of something important that's yet to happen?
Yes, but the time between those moments is getting longer each time.
That it is.
I feel on the edge of that now, but I don't know which direction it pulls.
For our God, all possibilities are seen and understood, but only He can know them all. I feel His words and His eyes in this moment that this is the right thing for you, specifically Investigator Hendrik, and it will serve you well in the scheme of time that He has for you.
I think you're right.
Takes one step closer towards you. He's about a couple inches away from you, and he, again, very intent. There is something coming for our church, a great responsibility. Find yourself ready when the time comes, Investigator Hendrik.
Hendrik does his best attempt to look stern and nod, but I think Hendrik has heard this speech before, and
You've
sometimes
been
it
told
was
this
truthful.
dozens and dozens of
Yeah,
times
yeah,
over
it's
the
always
years.
fucking like, oh, it's the end times. We're the chosen ones. It's like, okay, it's just a disaster. Like, sure, a bunch of people are gonna die, but I mean, give it a couple hundred years, and it'll be fine.
You got told this about the Great Flood of 1483, and you got told this about the days before the war. People saw signs. Yeah, you've heard this all before. But for this trial,
Comes and
for
goes.
this moment, this is an important thing that he has
For
done.
him, it looks big, and Hendrik knows that, and so Hendrik does play along. Oh, fuck.
Yes. The
These
bishop
fucking priests.
takes a step back and then escorts you out of the maze-like structure of the brass shields, and you have an item which you might want to attune to.
Yeah, I will attend to it, absolutely.
Very well. Do you come back
I have
to
my
Bed of Roses?
inventory.
Yeah, I think you can grab. It's Pearl of Power. I think you might be able to just grab it from the inventory.
Yeah. Hendrik's gonna spend the rest of the day out of the rain.
Yeah, I'm gonna
You
go
might
back
have
to
a
Bed of
Destiny,
Roses.
but see, Destiny isn't that picky. It can wait a day. Or a week.
Yeah, the actual incense holder is like an apple shape, like it is a ball, and upon it, on the head of it, where the kind of two crease lines meet of the bands of silver around it, there are this kind of scales of tear on the top of it, like kind of mirroring where a Christian cross would be on the top of it. And yes, that is now yours. So you go back to Bed of Roses. You see Orly has been still in the same booth, and so yes, so Stote, that your kind of first question is answerable for me at this moment in time. The appearance of the thing that you seek matches the description of a young type of that kind of drake. The etchings, there are slight variations within localities of a certain type of forest land or jungle land from what this author is able to observe. But yes, it befits. And then it shows you worryingly that if this drake is to grow within its years, what it is to evolve into. A schemer, a poisoner of minds and of body.
God damn it.
A powerful, one of the most cunning types of drakes upon this earth. Not the most powerful, not the most deadly, certainly one of the most conniving and scheming.
I don't think that's better, is it?
It's up to Orly what he thinks.
Yeah.
But there are drakes such as red true dragons that are worried about the strongest of kind, strongest of wills, the most arrogant. But there is a hierarchy within dragon structures, especially that of chromatic dragons. The one and blue tend to be lower down. Probably imagine your mind would cast to that, as you're now going to deal with a blue drake at some point or another.
This is true. Just to clarify, because I can't 100% remember when we were talking way back. What is the color of this drake?
Green.
It is green.
It is green, and it was a wormling.
And it was a wormling at the time.
Last you had sold.
Brilliant.
Mystery, background, intrigue.
I've stuff to go off. This is great.
Yeah. There's kind of the superficial writings of an author, of a poet, trying to talk about all the flowery language and powerful language and then there's like a simple breakdown of lifespan and ecology and biology and character and personality traits. These drakes tend to, much like people, not every single drake is similar to the last, but there are tendencies of personality which tend to fold over into one another.
Yeah.
And are they like? And there's a hypothesis of, are they like this because that's what expected of them, if that's them to act that way, or is it just they're always programmed a nature versus nurture question to dragon kind?
Does it have did the author for this book at least have any kind of like inkling or indication of the not even this specific one, but like general locations of the different types of chromatic or all dragons rather?
Do you mean like what biomes they would live in?
Yeah, kind of biomes, regions wise.
Yeah. So white dragons, cold northern areas, or particularly on isolated, stormy regions that are cold in nature. Black dragons into warm, swampy marshland, bogs, swamps. Blue dragons are coastal and desert, preferring on dry, arid landscapes, which you now currently find yourself in this region. Green dragons into forested, heavily green shrubbery, sometimes mountainous areas, and then there are red, which prefer hot, mountainous, volcanic soil and earth, which is rare on this side. The only really region that was in was Vondair, and now it all blew up. So there's not much habitat left for red drakes, as far as you know, in the immediate area in your mind, casting back. But plenty of habitat from what you look at. Like there is habitat for all of these species within the Concord, particularly rare for the for red dragons. Um, but where you're from originally, there's a gigantic wood and the heavily forested and deciduous woodlands of the northern parts of the Concord is where you would expect to find either green or other mixes. There are a bunch of lesser drakes. There are wolf drakes. There are snake drakes. There are a bunch of other lesser types which do not function into the full hierarchy
Yeah.
of dragon kind, and they're hunted for their skills, hunted for their hearts, livers, magical properties that they can bestow, and all these things. But for the true big five of chromatic dragons, that's what you know.
I'm also assuming I can't remember the name of the other dragon that we've been told about. What was its name? I know
Barazir, the Jewelstone Jackal.
Barazir, yeah. I'm assuming
she is mentioned.
She in relation to green dragons, would it be?
No, she's a blue dragon. Barazir is a blue dragon.
Yeah.
He was a lesser duke, a duchess in the hierarchy of dragons within Vondair, and evaded its destruction and kept alive and carved a new territory that you now know of. But the book author, this was written before the destruction, so it's quite an old piece. But in her time, she was a lesser duchess of a region within Vondair and had her own merit.
Okay.
Not autocratic, but like she controlled a certain region within Vondair. So think of it like a couple rungs down the hierarchy of land ownership and ability. And back then she was a young, she was not an adult dragon.
Does it give a time span on the aging of green dragons, even specifically?
Yeah. So where's my fucking D&D? This might just have to be a Google search, or it should be in 20. I don't know. Because one weird thing they do.
Great God, Google, we beseech you.
Yeah.
Give us your wisdom.
Yeah. Great fear. Who knows all? Speak to me. Why is this not coming? Yeah, so I believe Monster Manual. I believe there is an age graph in the Monster Manual for dragons, which I can send along. I think like Wormlings are a couple years old, and then they're a young creature until about the age of 50 or 100, and then once they get to about 100, they are considered an adult. And then they live as an adult for a couple hundred years, and then they get to what would be known as an ancient, powerful
Right. Okay.
dragon.
Because I was just thinking, I think it would have been roughly 2 years since I would have seen it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I like, unless it's a drastic kind of like aging process.
Yeah, they are magical creatures as well. They're not conformed explicitly to the rules of nature and biology. Like there are certain things that can advance a creature's age, whether it's
Yeah.
stress, abundance of food, hoarding of wealth. There are unexplainable laws of the universe which affect these creatures.
And then, I mean, out of character as well. There's a lot of I don't know too much about dragons, the different kinds, but some of them can polymorph. So, like,
Yeah,
there's that as well, right?
That's true as well. That's true. True. Yeah. So, I think it's here. I don't know what dragon life cycle. What? Oh God, there's so many versions of this. Just give me one, bro. Just give me one.
You can get back to me. You can get back to me. It's fine.
Yeah.
I have a question.
Oh no, there's just a table in the Dungeon Master's guide for like where a dragon's guide is, dragon's aging. Here it is, Forgotten Realms. Okay, so it is a wormling from the ages of 0 to 5. It is a young dragon from the ages of 60 to 100, and from 100 to about 800 is an adult, and then from there it goes into ancient, and then if possible it could become a great worm, which is kind of like, don't even know if that's even possible.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Good to know.
Yeah.
So we're murdering a child. I mean, arresting.
I didn't say anything about murder. You're so quick to kill.
Well, I expect this to go poorly.
You have no faith in this party at all.
An attempt.
All right.
We're going to try and do this peacefully.
I'm just window shopping,
right?
by the way. There's nothing else to this window shop right now. So
This is why I'm happy Lyranok is around. He has enough hope for both of us.
Yeah, it's pretty central to my character.
Speaking of hope, your entire party is gathered in the bed of roses communal area, and you see your allies, Hendrik. As much as you have had a holy polishing of your soul, they have had a physical polishing of their armor. They look decked out and sweet looking, like their armor was just made today.
Are they wearing their fancy shiny armor?
I mean,
well, I presume if we're just coming
it had to be put on us to make sure it fit, so we didn't take it off, I think, between...
You have to flaunt your new toys, surely.
You guys walk in, and Hendrik just looks at you and just starts like shaking his head. It's like it's gonna get worn out if you wear it.
Okay.
It is.
He's that kind of person.
It's a lot easier than carrying it ourselves.
I will happily return Thork's book.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The book is... Oh, what did you learn?
Well, I learned there are many different colors of dragons.
Now, you know you shouldn't be judging dragons just based on color, right?
It was a learning experience. There was no judgments. God damn you. Have you had much experience with dragons, like up close?
I assume not, Cypher.
I mean, you had the experience with the blue one giving you a treasure, which is very rare indeed. Not really. A lot of the lesser drakes, like the kind of like wolf drakes and snake drakes around Eland, and stuff like that have been like hunted out for like good number of years. And true chromatics are a rarity. Like you've maybe heard a whisper about one, like a green dragon spotted like maybe like 3 centuries ago. But no, that the blue drake in the Sunless Citadel is the first time you ever interacted with a proper dragon.
I mean, we had the dragon at the funeral.
Yeah.
That's true as well. You did meet the Sorry.
Arathorg?
I remember we interacted with him in polymorphed or shapeshifted form.
Yeah.
I can't recall what metal he was.
He was
I
a
believe he
silver
was.
dragon.
Yeah, silver.
Oh yeah.
I was about to say white, but yeah, silver.
Yeah, it would. White dragon would be a very different story at a funeral. It also probably involved many more funerals.
It would be a very
His-
cold funeral indeed.
Yeah,
It
his
shows up
name
in
is
his ass if you're gonna finish that.
his name was Alistrug Rally Ser.
Arathorg.
Yeah,
Got his name wrong.
Alistrug Rally Ser, the Eastern Savant. God, I love Legend Cube.
Yeah.
All right. So, what are your guys' plans for the rest of the day?
Who would
Okay,
like food?
So, Hendrik has a nice bowl of unflavored oatmeal in front of him. I believe my business here is done. Are we heading out tomorrow?
I believe that
We're-
might be for the best.
We're going back to the Sunless Citadel, right?
Yes, Thoric is quite intent on wanting that breastplate.
Me?
Sorry, not Thoric. Torkel. Damn it! God damn! Why do you have such similar
They're
names?
so similar, I know.
Torkel. Sorry.
Yeah.
Ah,
Confession. Every time I think of saying either one of their names, I have to look on Roll20 just to make sure. So
Every
normally I
fucking campaign, we get two people who decide to have really similar names.
it's a gift.
or curse.
I mean, I didn't say if it was a good gift. But yeah, I believe he's quite intent on wanting that. I believe it was a breastplate.
Yeah.
That he wants the breastplate back.
Pretty good breastplate. I'm pretty sure we all somewhat agreed on plan going forward as well.
Yes.
Which is Lyrnock and Thork trying to talk this thing out of
Yeah.
violence.
Yeah.
And if possible, I can grab the thing if it's going downhill.
Yes.
And then, as all of the best plans go, it ends with, "We'll just wing it."
Yep.
Hopefully we
Pretty much.
won't need that. Oh God. You okay there?
I'm terribly sorry. Yeah. I don't know, man. I've been trained not to cough on the mic.
Fair enough.
I'm okay. I'm sorry if I exposed you guys to horrible sounds.
It's all good.
No.
If everyone's just kind of like chilling for the evening,
Well, it's still the morning. It's still like 10:30 in the morning. So.
Oh, right,
we
okay,
get
sorry.
shit done apparently. Okay.
Yeah, I thought I was expecting it to be later in the
We're
evening.
all role-playing morning people, guys.
That
Oh, the
doesn't compute
worst.
with me. The worst kind of roleplay.
I got my tasks done, and it's only 10 a.m. What?
Okay.
Well,
Oh,
let's
let's
call
do
it,
this
let's
in
call it an
real
even
life.
12. Let's call it an even
But-
12
Oh, God.
p.m.
Well,
Yeah,
that's good.
in that case, we probably could head off today then. I was
Yeah.
saying tomorrow because I was thinking it would probably closer to
Damn.
afternoon, evening, but
We could head off, but it is raining.
So
It is raining. It is very raining.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, if we give it a day, it might not be raining.
does the rain impede us in any way?
It's
You're
and
in a
wet.
very well, there's that. I mean, it'd be uncomfortable. So make a nature check for me, please, Stoty.
Sure.
yeah, you're good at these.
Rain is wet.
No. This is about something you might actually be knowledgeable about.
Oh,
15.
it's very
Yeah,
wet.
so this
Paradoxing.
are you wet if you're underwater? That's the question I always ask myself.
Is water wet, or does it just give the effect of wet?
One of life's great mysteries.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Seth.
So this region is an arid region. It gets incredibly hot in the summer and incredibly wet in the winter. The tree life here, the vegetation here isn't very thick rooted. So what can happen when there's a lot of water that comes in very fast, which it happens in the spring, which you're currently in the season, flash floods, quicksand can happen. You could be caught out by this weather in like river gullies, and your explicit way that you followed to get to the Sunset Hills, you walked basically parallel to your river system. You walked down the Dry Run River, which had a tepid flow, by the way. And also, it did rain when you guys were going there, but there seemed to be enough drainage in the Sunset Citadel. It wasn't going to be flooded and things. So don't worry about that, Orly. They're not going to all be drowned.
The minute you said flash floods, I was like, we gotta go.
No. Also, you probably physically couldn't reach there in time if that was the case anyway. I mean, it takes 2 days to get there. But it'd be something you'd be aware of that flash flooding in this region. Have you guys like there'd be mudslides, there'd be flash floods, there'd be all this stuff. Yeah, so you got to be careful. So the explicit path that you took could be dangerous, just on a nature sense, like just on.
Yeah, one mudslide and we're dead.
Yeah,
Mudslides are dangerous.
No, there is like rocky land that you could stick to. There is certain paths that you would stick to, but with a 15 nature check, there's also a bunch of creatures that will be sticking those paths as well. It's not just you walking around in the wilds. There's creatures that also have to survive out there that are going to take the most optimum route to keep themselves dry and alive.
Okay. I guess Orly retracts his statement. No, now that I think about it, probably best that we wait until it stops.
Okay.
If you feel it is best, but there's no guarantee that the rain will stop.
Well, it'll stop eventually. Unless it's like the floods again. Just Hendrik goes off.
I feel we have enough patience to at least wait and see what tomorrow brings.
Yeah. So you guys want to skip ahead until tomorrow, unless there's any business you guys want to do today?
I want to check out bounty boards. Because I think I heard of a bounty board being mentioned. Maybe it wasn't actually a bounty board.
There was discussions on bounties last session.
I think that was with the Archstellas, but I don't know if there was a board mentioned.
I don't think explicitly, no. I think I would have remembered that if I teed that up.
Yeah.
It's like $5 or 5 gold pieces to find someone's lost cat or something.
I mean, hey, wait, 5 gold pieces for a lost cat?
That's
a really good payday.
Yeah.
It's like walking around Berlin, like getting all the recyclable bottles and stuff. Like the payday, it's good.
Yeah.
Who keeps putting these cats in trees?
The council.
If yeah, I guess I'll go looking for one. If there isn't anything of that sort, then that's fine.
Make an investigation check.
Sure thing. Apparently, I'm good at this.
You are fairly good.
17. There are advertising posts for summer picking jobs for some people to help clear out some vermin around some of the vineyards around town to get ready for the fruit growing season. And that's really as much as you find. Either a few months' time, help needed for the picking season, and kind of in the next couple of weeks, people to get rid of all the vermin around.
I have a follow-up question.
Yeah.
Perfectly happy to re-roll for this as well. Along my travels, do I find any form of scribblings or anything such as thieves' cant or of that nature?
You do.
I do.
You do. You find Let me get up my map of Rackmere. You find roughly in the entertainment district, kind of in between the kind of communal park 1 and entertainment district, you find some markings of Thieves' Cant which have been mostly damaged by the wear of time. There is some old stuff there that people probably thought was just like, it looks like it was instantly placed there by like a wagon wheel that scraped against the wall. That's what it looks like at a glance, but you're like, that scratch there looks familiar, and you kind of bring your mental knowledge in, like, this isn't like a cache point, or it's not detailed script, but you get the inference of what's left of the symbol of it's a symbolic language, like literal symbols and like code. And the best way I can put this to you, you roll a 17, you know Thieves' Cant, a multi-headed snake.
That's bizarre. Okay.
Yeah.
A multi-headed snake.
Yeah.
Well, I can't think of anything off the top of my head right now, so I guess I'll go back and get a drink then, I suppose. Ponder on that.
Yeah. Do you guys wait until the next day?
You know what could be good? If I remember rightly, we've got a street name that we kind of need to find. We honestly don't even know if it's in the city.
That's very true. It is in the
what I would like to do then is, if we've got nothing else particular to do, then it's going to just go for a walk throughout the city, effectively. And I don't know if there's going to be like street names, etc. I imagine there must be.
It's a very organized society. There's definitely street names.
So he's just going to be keeping an eye out for that. But really, it's more a case of he's going for a walk for the afternoon, see if he'll help people out, do some small minor tasks, etc. Do whatever, see some sights. He's going for pick a direction, go, I'm going to go 20, 30 minutes in that direction, and then sort of see. If he finds the street, absolutely hunky-dory, happy days. If not, it is by no, this is such a long shot, but it's just, there's something, he's got an afternoon, he'll do what he can. Spend it cooped up.
What's your investigation bonus?
Absolute not great.
Okay.
It is flat 0.
All right. Okay. What about your perception?
Perception is decent for.
Okay. Torkel will go with you and give you advantage on a perception check for me, please. This is just a perception check, just basically trying to see if you can spot it. You have advantage on this with Torkel.
Thing.
20. Pretty good. So you kind of start like in a kind of circle area. You start from Old Town. You go around Old Town. You go to the Merchant District. You go past the Viper Hole. You go all the way through the entertainment. You do like this kind of into the residential. You hear the bell ring of the dusk light of the Hospice of Arias. All the way through Memorial Field. You do a big loop. You do not recognize the street sign. You do not. And the naming conventions of that specific location does not fit the language structure of how streets are named within Rackmere. There's no similarities to what that specific function is to any street that you see in Rackmere.
So it's just it does not fit the pattern of the other street names at all. So
no, it doesn't, because Rackmere, a lot of street names are named after like, someone came through here and did this. There's like Poets Corner, Warriors Bend. Like there's all this stuff like of very whimsical, artistic nature. But this seems more like just kind of formulaic of simple, put a name on a place, and you don't get the sense that Rackmere fits that image of how you would name something.
Okay, cool. So it sounds like it's definitely, it doesn't. So it's, from the sounds of it, if it was in Rackmere, then it would probably have to be a very much more distinctive major street. So the fact that it doesn't fit this naming convention, probably not in Rackmere. Here's a long shot then, because he's because obviously spent quite some time in the capital. Is there a similar like naming convention followed there, or is it too varied because it's the goddamn capital? It's probably going to be varied.
You've spent time in Oakheart. You've definitely been in the capital a long time. This is the first time in Rackme. You did a good look around for a couple hours. Give me an intelligence. Actually, I'll roll one for Torkel because he's done the exact same thing, but he's been in Eland. So I'll make an intelligence check for Torkel, and you can make an intelligence check as well.
Sure thing.
That intelligence 25. Torkel is flustered. He's not happy. A natural 20 in your ability. Right. So let me bring up the specifics of the note. They're somewhere up here. Oh, I think someone. Did you post it? Or someone else? Wigwell. Yes. Okay. So the location does not fit much of the naming structure of Erith. Erith has like districts, proper true districts, which are cities in themselves, like Charthorn, Sanctuary, the Bizakeum, all these different parts, and usually it's like location, street name, district, like it's a very, very like that. Oakheart, there's a lot of like old family names which name streets and districts and parts of the town, city there. So for your mind's eye, it does not fit with the naming conventions at large for Erith nor Oakheart.
Okay.
So you can rule them out.
Right, so that kind of leaves then 3 major cities that I can think of being Breakwater, Bard, and Edgecrest. Edgecrest seems like it'd be a long way for a meetup here. Doesn't mean it's impossible, but that's like a long way to travel for. Yeah, we'll meet up and have a. Granted, ex-husband or current ex. I can't recall.
Ex-husband.
It was ex-husband. Cool. I remember there was some issues going on. Ex-husband might be willing to make that journey, but considering it seems like, despite being says, there was still some kind of feelings going on. But that's a long way from my. I mean, Bard and Breakwater both seem a lot more reasonable. But yeah, cool. Thank you very much for that. I'm glad we can at least knock out 2 or 3 cities.
Well, you can knock out Rackmere, knock out Oakheart, or knock out Erith itself.
Cool. So, yep. Cool. I'm very happy with that. That seems like a day well spent, or an afternoon being spent.
Any other questions, queries people want to do before we skip ahead to the next day?
I think I'm good.
I'm good.
All right. This day, its night comes, you find your solace, your sleep. And for not Hendrik, but Leonok at about 3 a.m., you're woken up to the kind of crack and boom as your storm shutter kind of flies open and taps against the glass a couple times, and you have to hastily get out of bed, throw a shawl over yourself, and just like open the window and reach out and bolt the storm shutter back again, as it has started to turn into a torrential downpour. And that is at 3 a.m.
It seems as
You
though
struggle
it was
to get
the
back to
correct
sleep.
decision.
You struggle to get back to sleep, and you have all of you as you wake up that day. No, there isn't the tarps. There isn't the kind of all the streets being protected by these great magical kind of encrusted tarps to keep the water levels off the festival. It is just water on a torrential scale, and to boot with that, the winds are about 100 to 120 kilometers per hour. You know, you're getting into really strong winds as well. So laundry that was in some high kind of 3-4 levels that hasn't been taken off because people thought it'd dry out because the sun come out has just been blown away. There are fruit stalls that have been blown over in the middle of the night. There's a bit of a mess, but it rains and there's dark storm clouds above. No thunder or lightning, but just the utter downpour. And that is 9 a.m., 10 a.m., 11 a.m., midday, mid-afternoon, evening. It just rains and buckets all day.
It seems though it was the correct decision to hold off. I do not mind the rain, but this might be a little bit much for the journey.
Traveling in that all day would have been horrible.
Yeah.
All right. Do you guys wait another day?
I think
It's like what's the housing situation like? Is it torrential floods in houses and shit like that?
Fortunately, because of you literally entrusted a god and a god's followers to build a city, the Church of Kinos, the Ministry of Masterworks, over many hundreds of years has optimized cities for weather like this. So there's a very well-made sewer system, rain catchment system in Rackmere.
Oh, okay.
Still water, but it's a lot. So the cobbles are still slick with rain, but there's no flooding.
There's
at least
no
from the middle
housing
streets.
evacuation due to the downfall.
No, like in the Everstorm, you can get rain that would be heavier than this even that could cause that, but not currently right now. And it would be the fourth day, and if you guys want to skip ahead to tomorrow, we can do that too as well.
I mean, it's not. Is it raining today?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I bet
It's all day. It sounds like.
I think I don't know if it like rain for you, Ryan. Like I imagine California, kind of your coastal regions get rain pours.
I thought you were talking about Hendrik. I'm like 300 years. Was it raining different 300 years ago?
No. Like for you, Ryan, this is like coastal water rainstorm coming inland, like just thundering
Yeah,
down.
no, if it rains, you don't leave the house. It's fucking yeah. Water's falling out of the sky.
And go ahead, Orly.
If we're just kind of like sitting around for a day or two waiting for like the rain to pass, I'd like it. I'd like to go to a library or something to pass the time. Like I don't want to sit in a bar. Albeit I know the first impressions of Orly was getting drunk and stuff like that, but like I'd like to go to a library or do something, you know.
Okay, yeah. And what do you wish to do at said library?
Well, the three-headed snake kind of piqued my interest, so I'll see if there's kind of like peruse through and see if. Now I'm only scanning, to be honest. I'm just scanning through stuff, see if I can pick up on kind of like anything that would resemble a three-headed snake.
Thoric, are you accompanying him at all in this, or anybody else accompanying?
Is anyone else going? Because if we're all going, then we're all going.
Yeah, I would have grown restless, and you guys would see me. I'm heading out. I'm going to a library or something. I can't take this.
I don't think Hendrik gets restless at all. But I mean, if everyone's gonna go to do a thing, like fucking Hendrik will go along.
Better than sitting around waiting for the rain to stop.
You walk the streets. You put your heavy leather rainproof cloaks on to get around. And you head to the Shaded Page Library, which is in the Entertainment District. It is a single-story, long, furnished building. There are many customers in reading. There seems to be like a poetry, romance adjacent customer base in that this kind of whimsical tales and fantasy and heroic deeds written down in script. But there is a historical section. There is an analytical section of this. And you peruse the books. Make an investigation check, please, Orlin.
Sure thing. I'm gonna use my inspiration for this.
Hang on,
okay, yeah.
So
inspiration is a reroll. So see what you get first.
Yeah.
16. Do you want to reroll or do you want to go again?
I'll reroll.
Okay.
Damn it.
Yeah. So so 10. So Orly, the headed snake. You find like some wildlife papers, some etchings and drawings of creatures of snakes, and you're going along. There's some like almost like cryptid adjacent things of snake men with headed snakes, but you're like, that's not what I'm looking for.
No.
You look around, and there's one creature that does kind of befit your description of a multi-headed snake, and it is that of the actual creature. It is not mythological, of actual creature of the Hydra.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe that if you share this information, and like, I think it's a Hydra. Hendrik, your man Slate, was a smuggler for the Hydra, the kind of renowned, secretive smuggling guild within Erith that no one has ever been truly able to fish out, sniff out, get rid of. It has been around for hundreds of years.
I could probably find him if I cared.
You could probably find them if you cared, but as you do, you cut one head off the snake and another one goes back in its place.
Yeah.
It's interesting, this, at a Hydra. Has anybody seen anything like this before?
If you're referring to the creature itself, then no, I know of it, but actually that's a good point. I don't imagine hydras are probably something that's also common, really, in the Concords. Or
no, they're I wouldn't say a common creature, but in wetlands. And make a nature check for me, please.
They're actually super common. You kill one and 3 more take their place.
You know, I think I've read about one-headed hydras.
Yeah, there we go.
It's a brontosaurus.
These creatures are not my concern.
They're not your concern. You've heard of some, like, you've heard of a mercenary dispatching one. You've heard of, Silver Templars running into a couple in forested lands and plains. They are a varied biome creature that get around. But for all of you, I just want to set the precedent. The one thing that kind of like is common in the south is like the snakes and venomous snakes. So like it's not a shock that there's a giant snake creature around.
Yeah. No, I've not run into one myself.
I saw this symbol as I was out for a walk yesterday, and it was a 3-headed snake, and I've never seen anything like that before.
Where do you see the symbol?
It was along the. It was kind of etched into stone as I was walking. Now it looked faded. It possibly was scribed in many years ago. It was quite literally only around the corner from here, actually.
Oh, it might have just been a gang symbol or something like that. There are, well, not gang, but criminal groups, organizations, and sometimes they'll take on a monster as their symbol. And
really,
there's one that's a Hydra. Yeah, it's it's very scary. Or the Minotaurs or whatever.
We wouldn't find any information about these in
Not a library,
here.
No. No, they don't tend to record stuff like that. I mean, especially, I don't know. I don't know anything about them, but I know there is at least one organization that uses a Hydra as a symbol.
Right.
But they're not, like...
They're gone?
Dangerous. No, well, I don't know. I haven't looked into it in a long time.
Fair. I was just mildly interested. I'm quite literally losing my mind sitting around in this rain, so anything to cure it out, I guess. But...
Yeah, out of character. I'm trying to figure out what the fuck. I mean, if Hendrik's at a library, he's gonna look at a book, but I don't know what the fuck Hendrik's gonna actually read up on. I think Hendrik's gonna go through the history section and just read history books and just occasionally laugh.
Because you're like, that's not how that happened. It's taken literal. Yeah.
This is such bullshit.
Yeah.
Why are you going through my trash? It's not history.
Oh, fuck.
There's talk of the stampede of 1412 with an Erith capital, and there's this manic panic of people worrying about playing some kind of collectible card game, and there's a stampede of a rush for a new card which got printed, and you're like, that's not what happened. Like,
Oh,
He
listen
should
to
know.
poetry.
He should know. He was the one that got that card.
yeah, he's got it in his backpack.
Also, rest of peruse, and I'm gonna go over and listen to whatever the poetry section is doing, I guess, and I'll just remain there until we're ready to go.
Sweet.
I haven't
Make
I've
a
nothing
charisma
else to
saving
look
throw.
at. Oh goodness. I have advantage.
Yeah.
Oh god.
It's okay. It doesn't move
Okay.
you. It's okay, poetry. You get the sense these poets are like they're mid-20s, late 30s washabouts who spent way too much time in education, and they really haven't got much life experience, so they're trying to give substance to what they're writing, and they think they're really deep. But if they actually left Rakmir and actually had a life outside of mummy and daddy's money, they might actually have something interesting to say.
So what you're saying is it's slightly better than slam poetry.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, it's better than sitting watching the rain pour. So.
Yeah.
I pick up heavy thing and I put heavy thing back down again.
So, with your research concluded, we go to the evening, and you guys go to bed.
Yeah.
And it is still.
What's the before we do, what's the god of like nature and storms and shit?
The god of
There's a
storms
few.
is Talos. The god of
Talos.
nature and wild places is that of Thesnir.
Okay, I'm before we go to bed, I'm going to pray to Talos, and the prayer is just Talos, knock it off. We have work to do tomorrow. Amen. Just goes to bed.
Your prayer's not answered. It rains
I was
just.
waiting there. I was like, does anything happen? Or...
I rolled a D1,000,000 and nothing happened.
Nice.
No, you didn't. You didn't roll it open. It didn't count.
Shut up. My dice, my rules. On the 19th, the 5th day of the second week of the first of Walwell, it rains just as hard as it did the day before. It's slightly warmer, which makes it more uncomfortable, and the humidity, but it still rains. And it rains, and it rains the next day, and the next day, and the next day, until finally, on the evening of the 8th day, coming into about 10 p.m., the winds slightly subdue. Instead of a downpour and the grey storm clouds, it's a grey overcast with fog until it breaks on the 9th day of the second week.
Okay.
It is
During this
cool.
period, I want to
Yeah.
say I whittled down a pipe, a smoking pipe, and I've taken up tobacco smoking.
You get
You are
minus
just
one.
a walking
You-
character addictions, aren't you?
You get minus one to
I'm
con.
not addicted to alcohol, okay? That was just festivities.
Uh-huh.
That was just
So
festivities. That's all that was. But I
Opens up the lungs for walking. It's good for you.
So yes, so you head back. So you not head back. You wake up, and finally you wake up to sound of no fucking rain, and it's not as miserable. There is not as high pressure. It is not humid and wet and cold. It is clear. There are no clouds in the sky. There is no wind to speak of. It is around 12 to 13 degrees, and on this clear day, we will go for a 10-minute break.
yeah. Damn it, bro.
Yeah, right. Okay, so let's have a 10-minute break, guys.
Yeah.
sounds good.
Cool.
So yeah. So you have a break in the weather. The morning of, as you guys, the bed of roses. It has been a couple of days now. You have been there since 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, how much do we owe?
5, 6, 7, 8. This would be your 9th day. Let me just work that out. second. Oh, wrong thing. 7 gold pieces for each of you. That's what you owe me for the Knights of
Okey-dokey.
Stead. Okay. All right. So the food, all the
Sorry,
lodging.
how much was that, sorry?
7 gold.
7 gold pieces. What
7,
you owe.
cool. Well, I heard 17. I'm like, wait, what?
No. Orly,
Yes, sir.
there's a courier for you.
Oh, really?
Left.
Nice.
I shall send it to you and to you alone.
Thank you muchly.
Private discussions.
Whispers.
There you go. So yes. Where's my fucking toolkit? There it is. Right. Liranok and Torek, what are the two of you doing today?
Well, today's the day we're going out, isn't it?
Yeah, seems to be.
Yeah, well, gear up, have a nice breakfast, be good for until lunchtime, and be ready to head out.
Yeah. Get your equipment ready. I believe you guys have enough rations to get there and back again.
Yeah, I think we should be fine.
And if anything goes wrong, the smallest of us can become the rations.
Meanwhile, the gnome.
With the wrong character sheet.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Unless there's anything anyone else can think of that we need to do while we're in the city, I think we can take advantage of the, relatively dry weather.
If you guys have money, you might want to. Some of you might want to buy. See if you can get a potion of resistance to frost. That might be
Why?
a good idea.
Okay, first things
In
first.
case
It's lightning.
Oh, it's lightning. I'm sorry. No, it's green. It's green, isn't it?
No.
No.
Green is okay. Also, green
Oh,
is
God.
poison or poison. It's poison.
Okay, relax.
Yeah.
It's a blue dragon we're hunting, which is lightning.
Am I in trouble?
Okay, deep breaths, Toxic. Deep breaths.
Man, at this point, let's just go get the ring of fire resistance. Get all the chromatics. Let's go.
I think he struck a nerve there, Ryan.
Yeah, you definitely did.
He's being mean. He's
roll,
picking on me.
roll for
I
apology.
can't do anything about Toxie being mean to you. I can do things about Liranok being mean to you.
Don't we have an
Pardon, sorry?
HR section for this group? No?
I am the HR department.
I am HR.
I don't think we want the police to be HR. That generally,
No, that gets
That's
confused very quickly.
But anyway, yeah, I think we're all content.
Oh shit! Horses are. A riding horse is only 75 gold. Hey DM, I'd like to I get a pony. I'd like to buy a pony, DM.
You want to buy a pony? I think you'll find
I
you'll
want to buy
a
a
Heidel.
pony. In the book, they're 30 gold.
In the book, they are 30 gold. In the game,
I know.
they
I'm
are
just give you a reference.
yeah, that's fine. Horses
Take my
are seen as a kind of a premium mode of transport down here. Most people use Heidels, so you can buy a Heidel for 45 gold pieces.
Is it the lizard thing?
Heidel is a 4-legged, 2-headed lizard creature.
Do you have to feed it twice as much? I'm
No.
kidding. I'll buy a Heidel. I'll buy a Heidel. How much is it again? 45?
45. Yeah.
I mean, I
You guys
can afford a Heidel as well, actually.
Yeah, we'll cut down travel time. We have to get our boots wet.
It would also potentially complicate things when we go into the Citadel.
It's fine.
No, you just put
No.
the lasso around the tree or something like that.
I mean, God, yeah. Oh, good thing there's no predators around.
Can I just share a mount? I'm not sure my feet can even reach the stirrups.
Lernok, I liked you better when you were positive, not when you were whatever the fuck this is.
It's the rain. The rain does weird things to live.
Yes.
Yeah, I know. We've been cooped up for days. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Cabin fever.
Lernok, it's okay. You can be grumpy. We understand.
Question: what is the carry capacity of a Heidel?
At least 2
1
coconuts.
No.
Pony is 225 for reference.
Only has 25 what?
pounds.
Oh, 225.
225 pounds. Yeah, 225 pounds. I have camels here for 50. I get a camel.
So, 200 pounds for a Heidel.
Oh.
It physically cannot carry me. Okay.
I don't think it would be able to anyway.
Oh my God, you are a heavy boy.
I'm an unarmored, lithe, skinny guy. So
I
I'm
am
good.
390 pounds, not including the 228 pounds of carrying.
Oh
What
my
the
God!
fuck?
You need a fucking elephant. Not an elephant. You need an
a
olifant.
horse. You need a riding horse.
Oh, wait, I need to get rid of the plate armor I gave to Toxie, so I need to get rid of that from my inventory.
Honestly, a draft horse might be better for you even.
I don't even.
There's
think
draft titles
Ooh.
and riding titles.
Draft
Ooh.
titles, okay.
Can a draft
Bigger,
title
tougher,
carry
angrier.
390 plus 163, so 555 pounds?
That's fucking ridiculous.
Rounding.
It's score, isn't it? Like it's strength score
Times
whatever,
30,
isn't it?
I think.
Yeah, a draft title could carry you. That's going to be 70 or 65 gold pieces for a draft title, though.
That is
35.
fine. That is fine.
How much
Okay.
can I carry in total? Because I'll go half Sunny if I can hop on as well. I weigh 100 total, I think.
No, it's
They
fine.
they can carry 540 pounds.
Okay, never mind.
So just enough for me. Perfect.
So the a regular Heidel is pretty much like kind of slightly smaller than a horse, but stockier, two-headed. They've got one head is kind of like iguanan, and then the other head is more like kind of desert lizard. So both heads are different. The draft lizard, the draft Heidel, both heads are the lizard, kind of like more desert lizard types. They're much stockier. They're double the size of a regular Heidel as well. But with that weight and ability comes with a lot more unruliness. So, yeah, you go to a stable block, you buy Heidels. So that's
Riding saddles
Yeah.
are 10 gold. You want to add that on there?
yeah. You want a saddle? Yeah,
Yep.
buy a saddle.
Yep.
Yep.
So
Hendrik, could I possibly ride with you? I approach him with a big grin on my face.
Okay, how much does it look like you weigh, really?
About
Out of character.
130 pounds roughly.
130.
That's everything you're including, right?
That's everything. That's me
No.
and everything.
You can put some of your equipment on the creature, but I don't think it can take both our weight.
Oh really?
Oh, FK.
Oh, that's right. You said it was 200 pounds, was it,
200.
Cypher?
200 for.
Oh, I need to
200
get
for
my
a regular
own.
Heidel.
I need to get my own. Okay. How much we talking again, including the saddle?
45. So 55 for
55.
55 for the saddle. Lernok, are you buying a mine? I don't know if Toxie's there.
if you're talking Toxie, you're muted.
Okay, I'm back. So, Orly, are you broke? How do you not
hey,
have money
hey,
to
Toxie.
buy a?
No. I was just trying to save
Weird
money.
connection issues there.
I've just bought my own. It's fine.
Do you wish to buy a Heidel, Toxie?
Well, it seems like everyone else has, so I'll have to.
You've kind of been.
I'll be
Well,
that's one
do you
I'm
need to buy a draft title?
No, I think I should be good on a normal one.
Okay. Yeah, 55. But it's 45 for the Heidel and then 10 for the saddle.
Do it. Can I ride? Can I actually physically ride this thing, Cypher?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, why wouldn't you?
Well, I'm like 3 foot
He's-
nothing, so.
He is small.
As long as you can sit on it and control the range, you can ride it.
Yeah, just
Okay,
get a
cool.
rope ladder.
Yeah. I don't know if Torkel will be comfortable spending the gold, so we'll just leave that a mystery for now.
Oh, I'll fucking if it speeds us up, I'll lend him the money.
I'll tell you this now. A Heidel moves at the same speed as you guys. It's still 30 feet
Yeah.
around.
That's fun.
But
Wait,
it means
horses
you guys
move
will be
faster?
exhausted. Horses, I think, are. Let me just check. Draft.
Yeah, okay. I don't want
A
to
draft
metagame this
horse
shit.
moves 40. A draft horse moves 40, and a riding horse moves 60.
That's fine.
But we could essentially force march without getting exhausted.
You
But
wouldn't
they
be
could
getting
get
exhausted. It would be
exhausted.
the horse. It would be the dead meat making the con saves,
Okay.
Good thing they have a con of
rather
30.
than you guys doing it. Yeah, they've got plus 27 to their con saves.
Oh shit.
Okay, yeah, this is fun.
Yeah.
This is fun. Let's just do this.
Let me just put this in D&D because I'll fucking forget. So
I think-
one Heidel.
I think Hendrik rides side saddle.
Okay. What are you calling your? What are you calling your Heidel? And what kind of steel pattern do you choose?
The temptation is to call him Roach, but
One Heidel for Hendrik. One draft. Heidel for Ulrich. One Heidel for Lear and all.
Now, if they have two heads, do you have to name each head individually?
The two heads do have different personalities.
Then yeah, two different names.
if you cut off one head, does it regrow as two?
No,
No, it doesn't.
it's just a two-headed creature.
It
Just the
dies.
two-headed creature.
I mean, because there's another head. No,
Depends if you want to.
Once the
If they
creature
have,
drops to 0 hit points, it is dead. Not if it removes its head. And that's when we get the Vorpal swords, we can worry about that.
Dude, if there's a Vorpal sword in this campaign, then holy shit, that is terrifying.
100 drop. Yeah. All right. You all buy Heidel. But you know, if you guys get a bunch of treasure, you're probably going to need these horses to carry all the treasure back.
yeah, that's
Silly
also
Cypher. They're not horses. They're Heidels.
Curse my weird fantasy. It's come back to bite me. I've already forgotten the name of the creature I am now.
We won't have too much treasure. 'Cause remember, we're going with peaceful intentions. We're only going to be walking out with the breastplate.
DM, I'll tell you what. I'll spend 8 gold on saddlebags, extra saddlebags, for that very reason.
Okay. Very well. Very well. All right. It is a road you guys have traveled once before at the southern gate of Rockmere. Good weather, good tidings. As you go to leave, is there any final other items or things you want to attend to before you go? Not hearing anything? I believe you guys will move.
Yeah.
All right.
I think so.
You travel a steady pace. The strange stone inspector, when you guys last left, Rockmere, is not there. He seems to have finished his inspection of these perfect stones, which look fine to you, but clearly not to him. And
Or he
you
got washed away.
Or got washed away. You travel, and it's clear after a few hours of travel, the many little jinks and little tributaries of what would be not valleys, but like little connotations and undulating ground, have had quick fire mud beds flow up with water. They look very saturated. The water has quickly rose, shrunk back down. So it's kind of this level of, you look at the mud and it looks dry at one part, then there's just this kind of mushy, darkish brown mud at the bottom of these little creeks and tributaries. As you head into more flatter ground, heading south of Rockmere, and you get close to the Dry Run River. The Dry Run River is not very dry. It is flowing with a pace you have unseen before. You can see the dark brown, silty and sandy water flow beneath the kind of heavy structure that crosses the chasm of the bridge before you. You have traveled around 8 hours to get here. You've done a full day of travel to get to this point. You have saw very little except in the way of travelers and merchant caravans and other people to that effect. And you have just crossed the other side of the bridge, and you feel that you possibly could keep going, but it would be getting dark. Let me just. You guys would have set off at about 10-ish. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, you probably got about another hour and a half of light. You're at the other end of the bridge. You could go on for another hour and a half, or you could set camp here. If you set a camp here, you'll still be able to reach the Summer Citadel, providing you guys travel well enough.
It would do well to rest here.
I agree.
Not as urgent as last time, and there will be. Well, we should be on the lookout for poisonous serpents going forward. It would be best to keep them in the light. Give us the best chance of seeing them.
Mm-hmm. All right, so you're setting up camp?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. You set up camp. You put your tarps up, protect against the rain, just in case. The cooler but sunny, clear day. I imagine you guys have an order of watch as well. But there is caravans on this side of the bridge, so there is like campfires around. There are people around, so you're not like
I'll
all
take
alone
first
in the
watch
middle of nowhere.
anyways, even if
I'll take second.
I'll
I
take
nearly
third.
put Nirakai next.
Oh, from out of nowhere, rising up from the river itself.
Sneak attacking with a
Yeah.
bench.
Yeah, I'll put Torko in fourth. So, Stoney, you rest. Make a perception check, please, for your couple hours of watch.
Is there? Ooh,
7. Not much to notice. It is still, as the kind of darkness comes, accepts in, you see the lights of various campfires around you, half a dozen or so. You can hear the bits of laughter, of calm reflection, some other talks and travelers going around the area.
I'm admiring my new pipe anyway.
You're admiring a new pipe.
Can I roll for how nice that pipe is, actually?
Do you have woodcarver's tools?
I do. I do
Yeah,
indeed.
then make a roll with that.
Oh, God.
With dexterity.
Dexterity. Ugh.
It's okay. It serves a
alright.
function.
Yeah.
It's all right. It's better than most what people will be able to create with their own hands.
I have inspiration if you want to.
No, I'm good. It's not that important. I'll try again later. Who knows? I could make a business out of making pipes.
Your watch goes uneventfully. Your tied up Hydals react fine. Like these, they are like four-legged creatures, two-headed, scaly tailed at the back with saddles on them. They seem to be content. One thing you do notice, they don't eat grass like ruminids, like horses. They instead have these kind of long forked tongues with one head. They dig up a little bit of earth, and then the chameleon-like head sticks a long, like really thin tongue into the earth, and then buries it in the earth with like kind of the front nostril, and then it brings the tongue back, and you see like ants and insects on the side of the tongue, and it licks it back in.
What about flies? Do they catch flies midair?
The other head catches flies midair.
Oh no, that's so cool.
So one head digs for bug life, the other head catches it while it's running.
They are insectivores, is the term.
Insectivores. I'm gonna call mine Melpomene. From Melly short. You know the two-faced mask.
Yeah.
I'm gonna call mine Melly.
I'm gonna name the one on the left is Bert, and the one on the right is Ernie.
No way! My dad's name is Bert. Hey, Bert. Hey,
so my one is going to be bacon and lettuce.
What is it? Your backup lunch?
Yeah, every character needs food. His last character was a chef. This one loves food.
I mean, Thoric, you're practically cousins. It wouldn't be right.
Are you saying that eating humans would be more right than the
Don't worry
Heidel?
about it.
I mean, I think I might have issue with that.
Let's not get any conversation of cannibalism again.
This is how you send a road trip. This is how you send a road trip. It's just stupid fucking argument.
This is how you figure out stuff about people. This is bonding, Arthur. This is how it's done.
Thoric perception check, please. Your watch comes in and your watch comes in, or nothing much happens.
23.
23. While your draft, Heidel, Thoric, is like mincing the ground, looking for flies, a small young jackal approaches the back. It's just meandering through your camp, just searching for food. Not much more, any bigger than like a red fox. And your draft Heidel, kicks it and kills it, and then eats it with the lizard head.
Oh, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
I think we've established I don't think it's an insectivore anymore.
They seem to be able to get their own food instead of you guys having. You can't. There's a saying you can lead a horse to water, but you have to bring it. The hide will find its own food. Something like that. I don't know. I'm not fucking smart enough to come up with something like that on the fly. Anyway, third watch, believe it or not.
It sounds more eloquent in the ancient tongue.
It sounds more eloquent.
You got to say it's celestial.
Yeah.
In the native Klingon, it makes a lot more sense.
All right. So is it just a straight perception?
Straight perception, please. 12. Clear clouds. The moon in Beria is a waning crescent. You see the clear night sky, starlight above you, and not much else happens. I'm going to roll for Torkoal, because I haven't got to roll much this session. No advantage, normal to public to GM, perception 17. Torkoal thinks about the masterwork, and that is a day. So that was another hour and a half. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, okay. You guys get up around 7 a.m. is when you start to get up. Did that already? Yes, it did. Okay, cool. Never mind. It is a cool day. No wind at all. A few clouds in the distance. No rainfall. It's getting around 14 to 15 Celsius. Warmer than the previous days of rain. And yeah, you guys wake up. You have another day or so of travel to get to the Sunless Citadel. You can still hear the heavy set water running down the Dry Run River, the murky brown contents. And you guys set off to travel. Can you roll a survival check now? So can someone roll a survival check for me, please, now, since you're now off a path?
I ain't got shit for survival.
I am +2 untrained.
We've got someone with decent survival, don't we?
I got it.
Oh, I will cast
Yeah,
guidance.
there
he
we
does.
go.
I got it.
Guidance, roll D4, see if you get the 30.
Roll it for.
There we go, 30.
He got 30.
Sheesh.
Orly, you have not traveled country like this before in your life with such serious changes in the water table, the level of water, the sunken in mud. But you know, high ground, rocky land, where the shrubs are deepest and tallest, that is where the firmest ground will be. And so you travel the ridges of the sandy barges and slight hilltops around. Now, we're not talking like big mountains, not even hills, just like outcroppings of banks and things like that. The dried flowers have finally been got their last kind of doses of water, heavy droppage of water, which will help them grow come the later spring. You avoid some very precarious looking flooding zones of valleys and little cracks and creeks. And so you get to the end of your day traveling A couple hours later, not a couple, 8 hours later, let's do this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So the end of your traveling day on your horses, before you guys feel like you could keep going if you wanted to. It's about 3 p.m. You guys set off earlier. It's about 3 p.m. You could push your horses another hour if you wanted to get them, or of course your hydals another hour if you wanted them to go another couple miles.
I think as Orly is expertly guiding the group through this rough terrain, Hendrik is just sort of asleep on his mount, just like lean forward and just take. I mean, the Bert and Ernie will just follow the herd,
Yeah,
I can,
so
I can imagine that side mount with the hat tipped down, just asleep.
Yeah.
Proper cowboy.
These creatures, their shoulder blades aren't like a mammalians. They are reptilians. They kind of do this kind of bow out into the elbow, so they walk really comfortably over any terrain. Really, they don't have that kind of rocking that horses do. So it's actually quite a comfortable little nap you get. But yes, Orly, you get to kind of the end of the traveling before you feel like, right, these creatures have done a lot. We've avoided any injuries, we've avoided any falls, going into any kind of doubling back areas of dropping down. You've read the terrain really well. It's about 3 p.m. You could push them some more if you wanted to.
It's up to the rest of you guys. How long have we got left actually before we reach the citadel?
You've got, let me think here. If you pushed maybe another 3 hours, you could be there. But that's 3 different con saves for your beasts of burden. Or you could set up tonight.
It serves us no benefit being there particularly early.
No, we're not in a rush.
Exactly. It's not like last time where there was lives on the line. This one's we can take our time a little bit. I don't think we need to push.
Well, we don't know what that mother's going to do to her child.
I think we're fine.
Sorry. Oh, yeah. I mean, okay, but we're not getting the breath right back for them, so.
It's been a week. The child's already dead.
Oh God. I shall take. I shall take first watch if we're just skipping to nighttime anyway.
Yeah, I'll take.
You guys set up a campsite. You pick an area. You are on like an overlook. You've got a really good vantage point with a 30 survival check. You've like picked a really good spot. You're on a high ridge. You can see a good couple 100 feet up into 1,000 feet in some little open up areas. Yeah. Are we just doing same watches again?
Do we need a fire? Yeah. Is it warm enough without a fire?
It would probably get cold during the night, but you probably still do want a fire. Yeah, still do want a fire. So you start a fire.
Yeah, I'm happy to go first watch again.
Okay. Yeah. This is you're gonna get that first watch into dusk. Make a perception check for me, please, Orly.
Sure. God.
3.
That's a good fire.
That's a good pipe.
That's a good pipe. All right. Your watch passes uneventfully, except for the fact that you see some birds circling in the distance. You hear the calls of animals moving around. You kind of get this kind of drawn into the beauty of nature that is the arid expanse. When it is not full of venomous snakes, it is not filled with creatures and then like lions trying to hunt you down and roaring through the night. And your watch passes.
Seems like it's just a circle of life happening off in the distance, really.
Thoric, give me a perception check, please. 12. Thoric, we are talking the last 10 minutes or so of light. Is a clearish sky. There is a full, let me just check what the moon's doing, is a waning crescent, so the moon is not particularly bright tonight, but with that, your dragonborn eyes see movement in the valley below you. Just a small shape. You're not able to tell if it's humanoid or a creature, but we're talking like a good 300 feet away in a flat plain beneath you. Not moving in your direction, like kind of moving side to side, not quickly, not urgently, but you just kind of see the shadow and the movement.
Am I able to determine a rough size?
Yeah, probably like nowhere, like probably like the either size of like a small dog or maybe like a small person like Orly or maybe like a dwarf or something like that if it was humanoid, or a kind of medium-sized mastiff or a hyena, something like that kind of size.
Okay. I imagine he's going to assume it's just wildlife. He'll keep an eye, but he's not worried.
Very well. Very well. Leonard, can you give me a perception check, please?
I can certainly try.
Oh yeah, are we marking off rations, by the way?
No.
Yeah, so mark one off for the first day and then the end of this day as well, please.
Yeah, I've knocked up 2.
Mark off 2. I'll do that on
Roger.
this character, on Torquil's character. Oh, okay. All right, so Toxie, Liren, you are sitting next to the campfire. Your allies are around you. You have some like you're on this high top kind of ridge. You've got some thick stones abound around you. You are concentrating, keeping an eye out, and then that's when you feel it. The first pick, pick of water droplets slowly starts to pick up pace. You didn't even notice the clouds starting to creep in and get darker and darker. It is now starting to rain. You have into like the early hours of the morning, a gale comes from the eastern winds, which kicks up some of your tent flaps and some of the bedding. It doesn't wake anybody else up, but the raindrops start to hit harder and harder. And then you see that first flash, and a few seconds later, the crack of lightning and thunder. I need you to make me another perception check, please.
Okay.
The lightning looks angry.
15.
What is what you had for?
Lyranok, behind you, around a distance as not that's still reasonably far away. Oh God, what's it doing? Sorry, my apologies. Like 30 feet behind you, there's a large stone surface, and while you were kind of casting your eyes around and waiting for the sound of the rain getting harder and harder, there's some reflective jewel-like deep blue socket in one of the stones behind you.
A deep blue socket.
It seemed to flash and then glow with the lightning strike.
Okay. Interesting. Sorry, how far away is it? Like 30, 60
Like
feet?
30 feet away from you and your allies in the campfire.
Okay. And it's like embedded in the rock, is it?
It appeared to be so. Yeah, it looked deep. It looked like a crack in the rock. The rock is about a good like 8 foot in diameter, about 12 feet high.
Okay. Is there like a loose rock or anything around that I can just grab it?
Yeah, there is.
Cool. I just have to grab it, cast light on it, and then throw it over towards where I think it looks like, or where I see it.
Yeah, you cast light. The golden corona of light descends on the stone. You toss it underarm. It lands about 5 or 4 so feet away from it. You see, keep an eye on this. The blue light kind of opens up and seems to kind of move gently down the rock, and almost looks like it just stares at the blue light. Sorry, it's just this blue light just stares at the golden light of it, and you kind of hear this like noise as we kind of low grumbles stone, and then from behind you hear a deeper hum, like another noise, and then this kind of like this dull, harmonious rolling from the stone that's basically in between you and the other stone, and all of your party, Hendrik, Orly, Torkel, and Thoric, you guys all hear these noises.
Yeah.
You're in
I think
bed. The water droplets are getting harder.
Yeah, I'm going to assume I'm not wearing my armor while sleeping. I'm going to take that off.
I would imagine probably not. No.
Right. Okay. So there's just so let me get this straight. Basically, there's me, 30 feet away or so. There's this glowing blue, growling rock. Was it stone?
Yeah.
And then beyond that again, there was another similar like growling, humming sound.
Would it make easier if I got a map up?
That would be making it a lot easier, yes. But
we're not going to get into combat, surely.
Yeah, it'd make it easier if we all rolled initiative.
hang on. Before we do that.
So Laranot, you may see yourself on the map. You see the water droplets coming on the map.
That's also sick, by the way.
Where this large clump here, this is where the eye came from. And then in between that and the other stone making noise is this one here.
Ah. Cool, so we're in the middle of them.
And as you start to... Yes? What would you like to do?
Oh, so I think at this point, the fact that there's now, specifically with the fact that we're between them, is definitely in the danger category. Even if they're not threatening now, it's the possibility of it. So he'd be waking someone up while keeping an eye on these two. He doesn't want to shout because that might aggravate them. So the plan would basically be take a step back and pretty much just sort of like, pretty much just almost whack Thoric a little bit, where it's like, it might be time to wake up, people.
Breakfast.
Not
Orly, Torkel,
not just yet.
And Hendrik. As you kind of hear these words, and you kind of been awakened by there's like a dull vibration that's like gone through your body since you're lying on the floor. There's water droplets in your face. You're suddenly woke up by the rain. Another flash of thunder. The blue eye closes. The blue orb closes. And then you see the stone that you were staring at, Laranok, just stand up. It rolls soil and mud and earth and rain droplets just roll off it as this humanoid, three-armed figure of rock and material stands up. And then in response to that, an even larger one closer right to beside Orly stands up with a dull yellow eye and rises up as two earth elementals disturbed by the storm take themselves standing in front of you, surrounded your campsite. Thunder wailing ahead above, rain pouring down as the four of you are still in your bedrolls. And that's where we're going to leave the session, guys.
Oh, no!
You son of a bitch!
How dare you, Cypher?
You son of a bitch!
You tease!
Oh no, those are earth elementals. That's not good.
I'm sure if we just don't move, nothing bad will happen.
I don't.
Thor can hold him off while we escape.
I have 13 AC.
All that's going through my mind right now is like Monty Python and the Holy Grail. Run away!
Run away! Well, hopefully it'll be more like
it'll
be more like the Black Knight, just put the flesh wound.
Yeah.
I mean, who knows? Maybe they're not hostile.
Yeah, precisely. Let's not make any initial bad moves.
Look at the bones!
I mean, to be fair, landslides aren't. Well, I guess they're on it. Never mind. Listen, guys, all I know is shatter. Shatter, 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 shatter.
Well, thank you for the session.
That was good.
Thank you very much.
No, that was great. A lot of time went by in fiction.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
We got some
1,
pets.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
Yep.
8. You guys, you're coming into the early hours of your 9th day since we started the session.
Did we have anything marked down in our calendars that we might have missed?
No,
No.
No, nothing-
No,
nothing in time.
it was just the promise of judgment for Ryan.
But you're nearly into the second month of the year. Not far away.
Mm-hmm.